Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day you guys are watching this fantastic Iron Thunder Racing Network broadcast. We're back for race number 2 of the Iron Thunder Racing League Premier Series Season 10, and we are live from the virtual Michigan International Speedway. For the count 176, we have in line for you tonight. Gonna get all this fantastic information for you right here, right now. I believe it's 88 laps tonight at this 2.0 mile D-shaped oval here in Brooklyn, Michigan. You know, this track did have a sister track, but NASCAR sold that for a ton of money. And I mean, honestly, I don't blame them because money's a lot. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, second race this season. Last week, it was Millet who got the win at Daytona in a very exciting Daytona 250 presented by Lucky Dogs. And tonight we get more exciting action for you. As practice just ended, they should be out on the racetrack qualifying right now. Before we show you some cars on the racetrack, let's go ahead and go over some points from a week ago. Now, there might be some names technically missing on this list. It's because they're not in the server. So when I pull up the screen here right now, you can see the guy who's 8th in points, which I'm going to go back and double check for you real quick. 8th in points is Kevin Freeze. He's not here tonight. There's a couple more names. I'll try to go over them who they are, so then you kind of know who they are. But it's Millet and Rittenauer tied at the top of the point standings, 59 points apiece. And then we have a tie for third between Patterson and Winkelspeck. I don't think I updated his number. We'll get that corrected next week. I swore I did the 05, but I guess I was wrong. Those two are tied for third with 55, 4 points back. So we're at Kevin Hash, Matt Quick, all sitting back there in between 11 and 15 points back. Kevin Freeze, like I said, he's sitting back there in 8th. Dalton Tucker 9th, and Brandon Kluser, who rounds out your top 10. It's never too early to take a look at the playoff cut line here. Like I said, I think we said last week, the cut line is always going to be something we're going to talk about because it's now we're not going to have enough winners in the regular season to fill up the whole playoff field. We have 9 regular season races, so at most we have 9 different winners. And I mean, it's very, very much possible. So that leaves potential of 7 spots up for grabs in the playoffs for guys who get in on points. And right now the cut line is actually tied between Shiflett and Collier. I'm pretty sure Shiflett would get the tiebreaker based on finishing position if this playoffs were to start tonight, but they don't. So there's that. 12th in points for you. That's Rance Llewellyn. He does not look to be here tonight. And 18th in points is Luke Carbonell, who is also not here tonight. Taking a look at the rest of your point standings so you can see where your favorite driver is currently at. Nope, that's the wrong button. You can see Kreiser, Green, Hash, Rise, Wiles. And then in 26th in points, that would be Chaz Justice, who is not here tonight. Get Munez, Rusi, Matt Klusterhus, and Matt Carabina. And then rounding out your last page here, you got Roy Grande, Brandon Pamitat, who got his points from his dual win. And then you got a couple guys who have not made a start yet. They're 33rd, 34th, 35th, Jeff Pete, and John Mustaine Jr. A couple of guys who are making their first starts of the season tonight. So there is that. That is a look at your points for tonight. Now we'll quickly go and take a quick glimpse at some qualifying action here. As right now on top of the board is the 88 machine of Wiles. Looks like Brandon Klusterhus is out there on track finishing his lap. He's currently sitting P2. Other drivers currently out there right now. We're going to take a look here. Eric Chapeau, he got done with his qualifying lap, P8. Rittenauer, done with his qualifying lap, P9. Chris Gale in that Cadillac machine there. He's coming across the line, 16th quickest. Munez, 18th quickest. And Jason Rodenbush, he's coming out here making his first start of the season. Currently sitting 22nd quickest. A whole bunch of guys who have not turned a lap. Grande, Coley, BJ Hash, Zach Kreiser, Brian Wortman, Sam Green, Winkelspecht, Matt Quick, and John Mustaine. Even though Quick is out on the racetrack, and Sam Green is also on the racetrack. Now, both guys should be able to get their laps done here within the 45 seconds they have here left in qualifying. Again, 88 laps is the distance. Stage number 1 is at the end. Oh, thanks for telling me that. I thought I clicked that button. You know, I am so sorry. That is all I mean. When I click everything on the screen, that's the one button I forgot to click. I am so sorry. I'll go through the points real quick for you again. I am truly, truly sorry. Here they are. And it might help if I take a look at that screen every once in a while. Even I have the stream on the TV, and didn't get it, but here is your points yet again. Yeah, we can go over the points again. Here you go. Ooh, Japan. So this is updated based on, the points are now incorrect, all right? So the points are now incorrect because the way I have it set up is in ATVO, the streaming software, right now, because it's now in the race server, they're going to add the points for their position. So if I were to show you the points real quick again, you can see here that this would be based on where they're currently running on the racetrack. So it's not the points before the race. So there is that. And again, I'm truly sorry that I forgot to click the logo off. That is, yeah. But we'll go ahead and go over your starting lineup for you tonight. As is Daniel Wiles on the pole tonight in that number 88 machine. He put down a fast lap in qualifying to get on the pole. He'll be starting P1 in that Team Conti America Racing 88 Chevy Chevrolet. Brian Klusters in his Toyota Camry here. Blue Lightning Iron Thunder Racing Network number 25 will start second. Sam Green in the Cosmic Motorsports number 51 Ford Dark Horse Mustang will be third. It's Trailer Park Dude on TikTok. Kevin West starting fourth in 9001 Chevy Chevrolet. In fifth, we'll see the DeWalt Toyota Camry of Sawyer number 35. In sixth, we'll see the Ruco Capital Materials. I believe that's on the hood. Number 21 Chevrolet of Dalton Tucker. In seventh, you'll see the Matt Klusterhus number 24. In eighth, we'll see Brandon Pamitat making his first official points-paying start tonight. In eighth. In ninth, we'll see Eric Trapone, the SFTV number 97. Rounding out your top 10 will be Ray Rittenauer in the Lucky Dogs VRS There's a Thunderbolt on that car. Sip and Shine Racing number 87. And 11th, we'll see the Toyota Gazoo Racing Toyota Camry of Matt Cherry. In 12th, we'll see the last week's winner in the Team Conti Sim Performance number 31, Zach Millett. In 13th, we'll see the Budweiser number 8 of Storm Patterson. 14th, we'll see the 67, a Regal Green Apple Crown Royal Machine for Caleb Rise. 15th will be Trusted Not in the Smitty Supplies Inc. Toyota Camry number 15. In the Stripper Glitter number 03 will be Kevin Hash. He'll be starting 16th, and 17th will be the Psychedelic Cat number 89 of Matt Quick. 18th will be the Cadillac himself, Chris Galen. 19th will be Matthew Carabina in that Shark number 19 machine. 20th will be the Target number 81 of Ryan Muniz. 21st, making his first Premier Series start, will be number 91 of Jeff Pete. 22nd will be the Miller Light Burton Bacon race number 4 of Shiflett. 23rd will be Brian Russi. 24th will be Jason Rudenbush. 25th will be Eric Winkelspeck. 26th will be Josh Coley. 27th will be John Mustaine Jr. 28th will be Roy Grande. 29th will be Zach Kreiser. 31st will be Brian Wortman. And 30th on the grid tonight will be Brian Wortman. We only have a pace lap to get that done, and I'm glad I got it done. But 88 laps tonight's the distance from Michigan International Speedway. It will be Wiles and Klusterhus leading into the iRacing.com restart zone. And we are racing from Michigan. Off turn number 2, they're pretty side by side through most of the pack here. Brandon Kluster was able to use that outside lane start in P2 to get ahead of Wiles down the back straightaway. He's going to have the pretty good advantage here as the side draft is pretty strong on these cars here tonight. It's going to be side by side for a second between West, as actually West is able to drop down in front of Wiles. Third, fourth is side by side between Tucker and Sawyer Ott, as most of this field is going to be 2 and 3 wide here for the first couple of laps. And it's like I said, the side draft is pretty strong in these cars here at this racetrack. Watching them in practice tonight, it was one of those things where if you have the lead like Brandon Kluster who's here does, it's going to be beneficial here, as here goes the 01 machine. Kevin West looking on the inside here as he was not side by side for position. He's going to have the advantage through 3 and try to clear himself up here off of 4, but doesn't. Give him the 25 all the opportunity he can here to take and lead lap number 2. Stage 1 is 25 laps. Top 10 will earn points 10-1. And as you can see here, they're still going to be side by side for the race lead, giving the potential for a massive run off of turn number 2 for the 88 machine of Wiles. He throws a quick little block on corner exit in front of the 21 machine. Does nothing with that run. Just going to fall in line behind the 01 and give him some help into the corner here. And as they're still side by side for the race lead. Single file all the way back to Sawyer Ott and Ray Rittenauer in 6th. Rittenauer is able to complete the passes. It's actually the stage is 20. I have my numbers from last week. I read those backwards, 20 and 45. So we have 17 to go in the stage. Brandon Klusterhus was able to get around the 01 machine of Kevin West here. Was able to take the lead for now. See if West can use that draft after 25 to get back side by side here. But it's single file for the first couple of cars here on the racetrack. First side-by-side battles between Matt Klusterhus, Sam Green, and Sawyer Ott. That's a battle for 7th on the racetrack. Sawyer gets a little bit tight off a corner exit, but is able to maintain his position. Doesn't put the 24 in the wall. Contact made between the 35 and the 51. As a side-by-side stacking up behind him. West has not been able to get back up side by side with Klusterhus. So Klusterhus with about a 2/10 of advantage here, but that was shrinking down the back straightaway due to the draft. See if West was able to shoot something in the inside there. He wasn't. So he's still going to have to try to do something here, potentially down the front straightaway into turn number 1. A little bit of a closer distance this time compared to last time by, as the gap is continuing to shrink into corner exit. Soriat was able to get clear of both Klusterhuis and Green, sets his eyes on the inside of the 87 machine through 2. As it potentially was almost 3 wide there between 45 and the 51. And unfortunately, it sounds like the 8 machine of Storm Patterson has fallen out of the race tonight. Hate to see that. Still have plenty of time to get back in here. Doesn't look like numerous cars are lapped down, so there's some hope for him to get in here and potentially get some wave rounds here. As long as it does not take him a long time to get in here. Things start to settle down here. Still up front, West is able to close the gap. He's right on the back bumper here. Might need another couple of corners here to see if he can set it up to potentially take a little bit of a look to the inside of the 25 machine. A little further back. Actually, still single file out here. Single file all the way through the front part of the field here. Taking a look back here. Next closest potential battle here is actually going to be the battle for 11th between Sam Green and Eric DePoe. As out front, West lost a decent bit of time down the back straightaway, by the way. So it's going to have to set it up again here. But still looking at the side-by-side battle between Green and DePoe. As they've completed 7 laps, 13 to go in the stage. Fuel's not a question here in this first couple of stages here. Last stage, we'll have to potentially make a pit stop here. As there's quite a bit of distance here. Kind of have 2 packs going on. First 15 cars have been able to pull away, and then it's about a 2.2 second gap to this next pack, 16th on back. And you can see some interesting racing here. Is quick side-by-side with Kreiser off of turn number 4. As it's still Brandon Klusterhuis out front, still has about the same advantage here over West. It looks like Hamatat is currently in a battle here with Rittenauer. Rittenauer was all over the back bumper of him through 1 and 2. Stays in line, doesn't do anything with it. Again, this is probably the closest battle on the track all the way back to the battle for 11th between DePoe and Green. Treston was looking on the inside of the 67 machine of Reeves. Can't really do anything as they make contact here on the front straightaway. This is the 97.51. Kevin Hatch is going to take a look on the outside here while these two are still making contact through 1 and 2. Could get pretty tight here off the corner, but all 3 drivers are able to maintain speed. No, they don't. They make contact off a corner exit. I spoke a little bit too soon. Still side by side. It's now 3 wide. This is all for the battle for 11th. While these two in the 97 and 51 are still making contact on corner exit, that gave the opportunity for the 03 to take advantage and gain 2 spots up to 11th. Not really missing anything as we're halfway through the stage for the race. Actually, you are missing something for the race lead. The 01 actually was able to get around. We were watching an exciting battle for 13th. The race lead did switch hands here as the 01 was able to get by the 25 of Klusterhuis. As things he's starting to actually drop like a rock here. Here comes the 88 by, the 21 by. These are going to be side by side here. Klusterhuis actually is going to have a bit of an advantage here, but Kevin West is now your race leader. See if you can work together with Wiles to get back to the 01 machine. But here comes to the 48 on the outside. They're almost going to be 3 wide on corner exit. Doesn't get enough of a run there. As Millet looks to the inside of Sariat down the back straightaway. As the battle for 7th is heating up here with coming to 8 laps to go in the stage. West, Wiles, Klusterhuis, Pamatat, Tucker, Rittenauer, Sawyer, Millet, Matt Klusterhuis, Matt Cherry is your top 10. And as things look to be single filed out now. Go back to the battle for 11th as I actually calmed down. Same thing with 12th as Sam Green balls in line here. Next battle will be here for the battle for 13th between Green and Rise. As a battle for 2nd starting to heat up here as Klusterhuis is getting a help down the back straightaway from the 48 machine, as he's going to be side by side with the 88 through 3 and 4. Slight advantage, but I expect the 88 to get a little bit of a run on corner exit here, as here comes Brandon Pamitat to help him. Brandon Klusterhuis might lose 2 spots here, potentially could even lose 3 here in the span of a lap, and as Pamitat tries to take the run he had there down the front straightaway to get to the inside of Wiles. Nothing really going on there, as there is 7 laps to go in the stage. Matt Klusterhuis had a brief moment there on the inside of Soriot, but nothing really can come from it, as he's going to have to sit back in line here with all the momentum he lost. As Brandon Klusterhuis is going to be side by side with Dalton Tucker, potentially giving an opportunity for the 87 here to see if he can do something, as they actually just single file out. Nothing really going there. Klusterhuis is probably going to have to take another shot at it at another point. By the way, I don't actually think the 18 and 4, the 78 are numerous laps down. I thought I'd draw enough cars for this, but I don't think I did. They're probably, same thing with the 05, they're all on the lead lap. Same thing with the 59, the 50, they all are on the lead lap. They're just, something's not drawing right for this. And as we come into 5 laps to go in the stage, Wiles is starting to reel back in Kevin West here for the race lead, but was only able to get to the back bumper of him going into turn number 1. Millet all over the back bumper, Rittenauer off a 2. Does he take a peek down the back straightaway to his inside? He's actually just going to work with him and push him down the back straightaway, potentially giving the 87 some sort of run to the inside here, as Pamitat looks the inside of Wiles for second. Nothing coming from it, as there is now 4 laps to go in the stage. Again, these guys further on back in the pack, they're not any sort of laps down. They're just too far behind their race leaders for them to be scored here. And it's just a thing on my timing screen. So these guys are not laps down. They're, again, just too far in a distance here, as Pamitat looks side by side with Wiles. Same thing with Klusterhuis on the inside of Tucker. So we're going to have 4 cars side by side down the front straightaway. Pamitat sneaks back in line. Klusterhuis is going to potentially lose a spot here. That'll be 5th to Millet. He's going to have to fall in line. Rittenauer doesn't do anything with the run he had there when Klusterhuis jumped in line with 3 laps to go in the stage. Side by side for seconds. Pamitat's really trying to make that inside line work, but the number of cars he has in the outside lane just doesn't really work. It's a draft kind of effect. It's kind of like the sucker hole you see at super speedways. It's just not, the number of cars in the outside lane is just too much. As Millet potentially thought about going inside there off of 3, but doesn't. 2 to go in the stage. Pit road is closed. It's still Kevin West out front, followed by Wiles, Pamitat, Millet. These 3 are trying to race it up here for second in the stage. Pamitat does have a bit of a hole to dig himself out of here in the terms of the points, trying to get as many spots here in the stage as he can. And as this time off of turn 4, we have 1 lap to go in the stage. Millet's going to be able to get by Pamitat for 3rd. He's in danger of losing 4th, 5th before the end of the stage here, is the 21 and 25 were linked up down the front straightaway. Kevin West is still out front. No real contention here, as, he filled a hole. He wasn't, that was close. The things are going to kind of settle down here as Tucker looks on the inside. Millet's going to defend the inside line here. But coming off at turn number 4, it's going to be the 01 machine. Trailer Park Dude on TikTok. Kevin West winning stage number 1. Wiles, Millet, Pamitat, Tucker, Klusterhoos, Rittenauer, Sawyer, Matt Cherry, and Kevin Hash will round out your top 10. For exciting stage number 1 here in the books is going to come and catch the iRacing.com race car. So we'll go ahead and try to update our points real quick for you guys at home. Again, it was Kevin West who won the stage. He's going to get 10 points. Daniel Wiles finished second. Get himself some much needed points after the trouble he had at Daytona a week ago. Millet will finish in third. Brand Pamitat making up a lot of points here. Dalton Tucker, amazing finish a week ago. Had to cut his interview short because of circumstances. Brian Klusterhoos finished 5th. Yes, he did. Oh no, it's all right. We're coming back to that. But pit stops are coming up. Once pit stops are done, we'll hopefully have enough time to get a brief interview in with stage 1 winner. And your free pass underneath this caution should go to the 8 machinist Storm Patterson. I don't believe Grande, Winkelspecht, and Hash are actually laps down, as there goes Patterson to go get his lap back. Watching the race off pit road. Looks to be the 31 machine of Millet getting off pit road first. Kevin West lost 6 spots on that pit stop. But he will be our first interview of the race. We'll go down and find him in the Discord and move him up to the Iron Thunder Racing Network booth. And before he actually starts talking here, I need to unmute Discord. Kevin West!
Howdy!
Hello! You won stage number 1 there, man. How's that feel?
It feels pretty good, man. I mean, I expected to win it, but it still feels pretty good.
Now, I kind of missed there watching some other battles in the back of the pass there, but did you just use a little bit of momentum there you had from behind the 25 to get around him there to secure the stage W?
Yeah, I got a little bit of a run, used a little bit of side draft, and pulled away from him so he couldn't side draft me back and got around him. But it's actually pretty hard to pass, especially on brand new tires. You kind of got to wait for them to wear out just a little bit.
Do you think you can move up, what is that, 6 spots here and try to sweep the stages here?
Yeah, we didn't have the greatest pit stop there, but we got a strong car. I think we can get back up there.
I really hope to see that because you put on some amazing racing there in the first stage.
Yeah, you know me, man. I'm all about the entertainment.
That you are. Well, congratulations on winning stage number 1. We'll go ahead and get you back down there with the rest of your team, and hopefully we'll get to talk to you again here at the end of stage number 2.
All right, buddy. Have a good time.
As that was stage 1 winner Kevin West. And again, we'll go over your lineup here for the start of stage number 2. I clicked the wrong button there. Again, it's going to be Zach Millet. He had an amazing pit stop there to get him out off of pit road first. Wiles will be starting second. Tucker will be third. Clusers will be 4th. Kevin West, it's not 5th. It'll be Rittenauer in 5th. Kevin West 6th. Matt Cherry, he will be in 7th. Kevin Hash 8th. Brandon Pamitat 9th. And Eric Chapeau 10th. Sam Greensler, Eunice Treston, Josh Coley, Matt Quick, Caleb Rice, Nathan Shiflett, Zach Kreiser, Chris Gale, and Matthew Caribbean will round out the rest of your top 21 cars. We go to lap number 45 this stage. So we'll have about 21 laps to go once they enter the iRacing.com restart zone. And we're racing for stage number 2. Not a great jump this time by the 88 machine in the outside lane there. And as Tucker and Klusterhuis are going to attempt to pass him here low through 1 and 2. Tucker is going to maintain side by side here. Might have some help from the 25 machine of Brandon Klusterhuis. Only it looks like because he wasn't able to get up into the outside lane there because Rittenauer filled the hole. New tire, so these guys have a little bit more confidence on this restart. Things are all jumbled up behind the 31 machine of Millet. And it's a battle for thirds heating up. A little bit of side draft there. Maybe touched a little bit here between the 25 and the 88. Almost touched between the 87 and 25 this time. But Klusterhuis using a little bit of the run he had to get equal here with Dalton Tucker. But the number of cars, I think, is a little bit greater on the outside lane here, so it's not going to really work well for the 25 machine down the back straightaway. Here comes stage 1 winner, Kevin West, to the inside lane here. It's going to be 3 wide for a brief second through 3 and 4. Off of 4. It's going to be 2 wide. Is still Klusterhuis is going to really try and work here. Try to pull lower on the racetrack, not to get side drafted by the outside lane. And Sarrat's in the wall there. It looked like a little bit of an arrow block from the number 97 machine to try to stall out the run from him. No harm, no foul done there, as Muniz in the 81 machine will take it 3 wide down the back straightaway. He's going to be side by side with the 33. He's going to dip low. They're going to be 3 wide through 3. They're 3 wide for a brief second, a little bit further up here. Looked like the 01 machine was in the middle of that 3 wide. As here comes Josh Coley with the head of steam down the front straightaway. Moved himself up in front of the 45 machine. He's going to be side by side with Pam Tech going into turn number 1. As we had another car fall to that dreaded, I'm going to guess, upload packet loss. A 51 machine, unfortunately, has fallen out of the race. No harm, no foul. Has plenty of time still getting this race here. Will be a little bit harder for him to get his laps back as the 8 machine is still out there on the racetrack putting laps down. Again, 51, Sam Green, second car tonight, who has fallen out of the server. Getting a lot of action here. Still out front, it's going to be the 31 machine getting a push from Dalton Tucker into turn number 1 as your race later. They're going to be 3 wide for a brief second through 1 and 2. They're going to finish the corner 2 wide here. As Klusterhuis is going to sneak into the hole that was barely there, it looked like. Down the back straightaway. In front of Pamitat. Kind of in the preferred line there, as they're almost 4 wide between Muniz, Drapeau, Cherry. Slayer Ott's going to take bomb 3 wide here in Kreiser. Muniz is now an Ott sandwich getting ready to go into turn number 1. 29 laps are completed in the race, 59 laps to go. We're racing the lap number 45 here tonight for stage number 2. Storm Patterson, he might be, a couple laps down here, 6, but he's up here cutting up with these guys. Did not suffer any sort of damage, just had connection issues. Kind of a tough start for this race for our current series champion. Like I said, kind of no harm, no foul. The 51 does join back in before Patterson goes, essentially before Patterson can pass him. Patterson's in a terrible situation then. Nothing's really changed here out front. Your front 4 are still Millet, Tucker, Wiles, and Rittenauer. It's going to be 3 wide behind Kevin Hash here, as Rittenauer is actually going to take the high side on Wiles off a corner exit. In the preferred line of corner exit, Coley's going to have a little bit of a tight moment there off of turn 4. Great reaction there from both Klusterhuis and Pamitat avoiding any sort of major wreck there. And is it still going to be side by side for third between Rittenauer and Wiles? Rittenauer looks like he's going to have the advantage here. Help from his teammate Kevin Hash behind him. He's able to secure third. Hash is able to secure fourth. Wiles is going to fall back to fifth here. Still side by side between the 33 and 25. That's going to end for a brief second as Kevin West is now going to be side by side with Brandon Klusterhuis. He might have a hole to jump into here in the outside lane. Actually, that hole's now gone. As Coley looks to the inside here, Wiles down the back straight away. And he's just going to get freight trained. The 48 goes by. It's now going to be side by side with the 01. Has some help now behind him in the 97 machine. As Rittenauer is going to try to use this high line again, he's going to get side by side with Dalton Tucker down the front straightaway. This one, it's not really going to work well this time. This is 03 is not truly on his back bumper like they were the last time when they attempted this. Kevin West trying to advance his position here, try to get back out front here before the stage ends in 12 laps. He's able to get around the 03 up to fourth. And as Coley and Klusterhuis are still side by side as Brandon Klusterhuis goes around. Caution number two, this time for actual cause. We will go and hit the replay machine on this one. I kind of have some sort of a feeling what happens here, but let's go and watch it. Ow. Alright, that doesn't really tell us much of anything. Maybe the blimp cam will show us something here. Well, let's watch. That might have been a little bit too far back. Again, we're watching the 25 machine of Brandon Klusterhuis. Hell of a run down the back straight away. I think it's just a side draft gone wrong. That truly is just a side draft gone wrong. I think Cully comes up in side drafts there. And I think he just got a little bit too high. Maybe some sort of net code there also could have been in play. We're just going to get a quick look here because they're catching the pace car. Nah, really, really hard to tell, but that's just a side draft gone wrong. I don't think Coley meant that. But unfortunately, that's going to be a kind of a rough situation here for the 25 machine. As he's going to have to drop all the way back in the back of the pack here. Pit stops will help. It sounds like it's really, truly hard to pass here. We're on lap number 35. When they come by next time by here, there'll be 9 laps to go in the stage. Yeah, it's not really looking good for the 25 machine here. Kevin Hash is the first one off pit road, followed by, it looks to be 01, 31, 21. There's a car or two that stayed out there. Well, it has to be Sam Green. He is, unfortunately, 6 laps down, so Storm Patterson was able to get by him to get another lap back. Matt Quick stayed out. Kind of a interesting call here, especially with about 13 laps on his tires. By the way, when this race is done tonight, I truly recommend all you guys to stay tuned or stay on the Iron Thunder Racing Network channel here. As earlier today, Radioactive, the supercut, was posted. It's just all Radioactives from last season, season number 9, put into one long video. I recommend you guys go and tune into that. It's pretty exciting. Go relive some of our moments from our 9th season of the Premier Series. Also, while we're here underneath cautions, the lights do go off on the iRacing.com pace car. If you guys can go ahead and click that like button, would be very much appreciated. Yep, 36 laps in the book. We're racing to 45 for our next scheduled caution. We could have an unscheduled caution in between here. But Matt Quick did stay out on the racetrack. Kevin Hash looked like he potentially took 2 tires on his pit stop. Millet took 4. He'll be starting 4th. As Kevin West also looked like he took 2 on his pit stop. Dalton Tucker in 5th took 4. Renard took 4. Winkelspecht, he moves up a plethora of positions here in his 05 machine. He's up to 7th. Another car that looked like took 2 tires. Brandon Kluster's trying to recuperate some of the positions he lost there from that incident for last caution. Took 2 tires trying to recuperate some spots there. Also, while we were on the conversation of Radioactive is coming back for season 10. The release date on any sort of Radioactive is going to be TBD, to be determined, but it is coming back for season 10 for those of you who enjoyed Radioactive from a season ago. But the pace car is down pit road. Matt Quick hits the gas pedal, and we're back racing here with 8 laps to go in the stage. Quick chose the outside lane here. We'll see how well he does on those worn tires. And that does not look like it's going to work well for him, as both Millet and Kevin Hash were able to both get around him here. Millet, probably with a little bit better of a tire strategy here, is able to get the race lead. But we'll see here, Quick can last another corner or 2 here in the top 10. Does look like it's going to last a little bit longer here, as the next gen tires are not good, as Millet goes all the way down the apron. But here goes Quick. He's starting to drop here. West is able to get by. Wild's going to be side by side with him. Tucker's going to have opportunity here. Rittenauer is going to be very, very close to making it 3 on corner exit, but doesn't. So restarted first. He's all the way back to almost 6th position here. He's going to have 5th for sure going into 3. Does the 89 machine of Matt Quick. As here comes Kevin Hash using the bottom lane here in those 2 tires. I'm going to assume right side tires. And a brief second is there side by side, but it's not going to last long, as the 31's getting help from the 01 down the front straightaway. 6 to go in the stage. 49 to go in the race. Millet, last week's winner, is still out front here. As 4 Rookie of the Year contenders are in your first 4 positions. Kevin Hash is making those 2 tires work well, and Quick is surprisingly lasting a decent time here, as he's actually going to lose another spot to Winkelspecht. No, he doesn't. He's actually going to have the preferred lane down the front straightaway. I would assume, I'm going to make an assumption, not something you're supposed to do here. He might lose it through 1 and 2. I think he will, and that's just going to stack things up behind him. 5 gets by. What does Drapeau do here on the inside lane here, going into turn number 3? Pretty equal into turn number 3, as Rittenauer is going to take a look to the outside. They're going to be 3 wide. 87 both and the 97 both get around him. Pamitat's going to try to get around him as well. Lasted quite a few laps here in the top 10, but unfortunately that strategy is not going to work out, as he's just going to continue to drop here. Klusterhuis is able to rebound a little bit. He's up 3 positions, could be almost be up 4 here, as he's able to get 14th by Matt Quick. Trust not the next car to go after him, but back out front, it's still single file for the first 6 cars. And it's 42 are going to be completed, leaving 3 to go until we pay some more points. West had a decent run this time off of 4. Not enough to do much of anything there. As Millet still going to be out front, trying to secure a stage win and another playoff point with those also very, very important, 10 stage points as well. Wiles was all over the back bumper of West. Things have pretty single filed out through most of your top 10 here, as Matt Quick has fallen all the way back to 20th. 20 lap old tires is kind of not the call here. As we're coming to 2 to go in the stage, pit road should be closed. Still Millet out front. West doesn't really have much of a run here till he gets about the corner exit here. Not really going to be able to do anything here. It's also, I'm pretty sure, front 4 are all teammates too. That's something that should be noted too. Top 4 all teammates here as they come to the white flag in the stage. 1 lap to go in stage number 2. No real action going on here in the front of the pack, besides Winkelspect getting by Kevin Hash for 5th. Okay, those 2 tires, no, because Winkelspect I'm pretty sure is also on 2 tires. Could also have taken a little bit less fuel, could be the case here too. But through 3 and 4 for the last time in the stage, West has his nose for a brief second to the outside of Millet, but it's not going to be able to really do anything with it, as Zach Millet will win stage number 2 here tonight. And I'm going to give it a brief second here to, get them in the correct spots here. Time of caution. But it looks like here, unofficially, your top 10. I'm going to also wait for the correct top 10 from race control. You'll message me here too. But 31:01:88, 21:03 97 33, 87 35 is what I have at this moment in time against unofficial as your stage points winners. Zach Millet won last week's race, is also going to win stage number 2 here tonight, and earning himself another playoff point. But they are going to catch the iRacing.com pace car. I'm going to attempt here to update the points. Yeah, it's 31:01:88, 21:05:03, 97:33, 87:35 is your stage results. So there is correct. So we'll go ahead and, while we're underneath this caution here, we'll try to get your stage winner in it here. Or stage number 2. But another round of pit stops, and apparently the 81 had and 25 had a moment on the back straightaway here. 2 to go in the stage. That is quite a bit to go back. And we'll notate that moment for potential review after the race. Again, we're just trying to get your stage points inserted real quick. As it looks like 45 machine and Matt Cherry comes off a pit road first, 6.2 seconds in his pit box. Josh Colling spent 9.4 in his, started at 9.3. But we'll go ahead. Pull up stage 2 winner, Zach Millet, into the booth. And he should be in here. Zach Millet, stage 2 winner. Hello.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Oh, it's going great. Pretty dominant stage number 2 for you.
Yeah, car felt really good. Really lucky. I had all my teammates right behind me, or at least three of them there. I was hoping the other guys are just plagued with bad luck tonight. I hope it turns around for them, and we can hopefully all get up here.
Yeah, hopefully, man. Looks like you guys had the field covered there for at least the last, I don't know, 7, 8 laps of that stage. Looks like you guys also swept the stages tonight.
Yeah, not a bad start. Hopefully we can keep the momentum going here.
Where do you see yourself finishing here in the next, I don't know, 40 laps? Do you think you'll be talking again later tonight?
Oh man, I hope so. But these drafting tracks, I mean, it could be first or worst in a half a lap. You never know. I'm trying to stick with the teammates and stay as clean as possible and just hope for the best.
Well, I hope for the best for you here the rest of the night. I'm gonna go ahead and get you back down there so you can talk over the restart with your teammates here.
Thanks, brother.
As that was stage 2 winner Zach Millett. He'll be rolling off in 4th as we get the final stage rolling. But when we do go back racing here, 49 laps will be in the books. 49 laps to go. So it'll be halfway. Again, your restart's a little bit different this time. Again, it looks like a couple of guys took 2 tires. Cherry might have actually only took fuel only. I'm not real sure. 6.2 seems like a really quick stop. Josh Cullen for sure took 2 with that 9.4 second pit stop. Millet in 4th took 4. Sorry, in 3rd took 2. And then the majority of the field, Winkelspeck, Tucker, West, Wiles, Drapeau, Hash, Rittenauer, they all look like they took 4. And unfortunately for you Jason Roundbush fans, engine troubles, and that'll end his race tonight. But here we go, 49 laps to go. Sorry, 39 laps to go. I read my numbers wrong. I did my math wrong. Oops. We're past halfway. 39 to go as Matt Cherry was able to get a decent restart here in the outside lane. It looks like the outside lane is the preferred lane for the restarts as there's contact made between the 35 and 33 off a corner exit. Will look just a little bit of a tight corner exit there. Cully's able to kind of corral the car here, but unfortunately he's going to lose a plethora of spots in the process of it. He's going to drop all the way back to 11th. Might even lose... back to 12th. Might even lose 12th here to Shiflett in that Miller Lite number 4 machine. As here goes Zach Millett, stage 2 winner. He's going to be side by side here with Matt Cherry. Rim riding is that 05 machine. See if he's going to be able to do anything with it. Looks like he made slight contact with the wall there. But he should be clear of Cherry going into 3. He's going to take a look on the inside of the 05 machine through 3 into 4. As they're going to be 3 wide for 3rd behind him. Contact made between Tucker and Cherry. This is now going to be 3 wide for 4th. Tucker's going to have the advantage here. A little bit of a better run down the front straightaway as Winkelspeck is going for the race lead. Had it for a brief second into turn 1. But they're going to be side by side coming up turn number 2. Oh, contact made, and they're wrecking. Kevin Hash goes around. Look like potentially off the front bumper of that 21 machine. I don't think he hit anything there. But we will go to the replay. And we need to rewind it a little bit more. And we're going to pause it and go to the blimp. We're on board 03. Watching the 03 Kevin Hash. Oh, he just... Actually, that's just more getting loose off a corner exit. Doesn't look like any sort of contact before that. It just looks like he got loose off of 2. You know, watch it here again. Yeah, that car just does a little bit of a do-si-do there and just in the process of corralling the car just goes around. After the fact, he does have a little bit help here, but it more looks like it's just from trying to corral the car and just ain't really anything he could do about it. Unfortunately, that's going to be rough for him, as we saw with Brandon Clusius earlier, who still hasn't rebounded from that wreck. He's still back in 20th. I don't think anyone's going to come down pit road. Looks like the 45 and the 33 both come down pit road. Those guys were some of the drivers who took 2 tires underneath that last caution. Yeah, we're going to try to continue to update our points here. So we can kind of have an accurate representation points after the race for you. What else? He got 8 stage points. Dalton Tucker got 7. We're underneath our second caution for accident tonight, 4th caution overall. Last caution happened to be because of 03 looking like getting loose off of turn 2. And all because of that kind of got wrecked. Most of your front runners stayed out. Looked like only 2 cars came down pit road that time. That happened to be 45 and the 33. Storm Patterson, I don't know if he got another lap back underneath that caution. And unfortunately, he fell out of the lobby again. And his connections just continue to wreak havoc for people, as Sam Green was our lucky dog underneath that last caution. He falls back to 5 laps down, and unfortunately, Storm's going to be in the same situation where Sam Green was earlier, just not going to be really able to get laps back because there's another guy there. But we are coming to the iRacing.com restart zone this time, as the lights are off on the pace car. And it's going to be Millet and Winkelspecht on the front row. Looks like Millet's going to take the inside line this caution. Let's see what he can do with it. It looks like the outside lane has prevailed the last couple cautions here. As we'll have 33 laps to go as Millet is on it. It looks like Winkelspecht was a little bit sleepy there on that restart. I can see why actually Millet took the inside lane this time. He had 2 teams behind him. Millet's going to have an advantage going through 1 and 2 this time. It's going to be side by side between the 05 and 21 down the back straightaway. The 01's able to get in front of Sawyer out there before the hole closed up. As it looks like Millet's going to go block Winkelspecht in the high line. West is going to see if he can do something to his outside, but it's going to get blocked before anything happens here. Actually, a little bit of a contact made in the wall there by West. Surratt trying to do something there, as West was a little bit slower off of corner exit. They're going to be 3 wide down the front straightaway. Still 3 wide going into turn number 1. Surratt's going to be clear of Dalton Tucker. And he's going to have sole possession of the third. This is now going to be side by side for fourth. Also looking a little further back, John Mustaine. He's up front here near the top 10 for the first time tonight. Really the first time we've mentioned his name since we went over the starting lineup tonight. And Sawyer-Ott's now going to try for second here. Nothing really going to happen here as the 05 is able to block that. And Sawyer-Ott's going to stay in the high line, blocking the 01 machine. Two teammates racing side by side for fourth. So Highline looking like it working a little bit better than I saw in practice. In 1 and 2, that's kind of what I heard from some drivers. 1 and 2, you kind of get the Highline to work. 3 and 4, it's a little bit iffy here. As Millet's really playing the blocking game down the back straight away. As it's going to get an opportunity for his teammate Tucker to get the inside of the 05 machine. It's not going to really work well for him as he's going to get freight train for a brief second, but it's going to get help from the 01 as we have 30 laps to go. There's a lot of bump drafting going on in this field. A lot more I kind of think we saw last week. Nah, that's not true. Kind of probably was more Daytona last week. As they're still side by side between the first 5 cars. And this time, Tucker's going to be able to get clear of Winkelschbeck with the push from West. As the first 21 cars are separated by less than 1.8 seconds. That's something we saw a week ago too. It's now Milton Tucker. Two teammates out front here. Tucker had a brief moment going into turn number 1. Looked like he had to check up a lot there. Got hit in the back bumper by the 05 that time. As well as going to be 3 wide here with Sawyer Pamitat. Kind of fizzles out. He's going to have to drop behind Pamitat. Try to do something there, but it didn't really work. Under 30 laps to go. Again, we're still expecting a pit stop at some point here in the stage. I did ask around for some sort of fuel number, but these guys would not tell me this information. They kept it, kept it sealed. It's kind of truly disappointing, but if I had to truly guess, most of these races seem like, I don't know, it's a 2 mile track, so I'm going to guess we're going to go a little bit further than we did at Daytona. So I'm going to guess in the range of maybe 27-ish laps. Could be the target here, so they're going to be pitting well before that. It depends when some of these guys want to pit. I mean, those guys are just further on back in the pack, so there's not actually cautions being had back there. As things have settled down for a brief moment here, as Kevin West is going to drop way low down the back straightaway, trying to break any sort of side draft he can have, but falls back in line in front of Pamitat. Matt Klusterhuis looks to be trying to get side by side with Ray Rittenauer. It's just a battle for 10th. Instead, John Mustaine Jr. is coming into the picture here for Klusterhuis. Still nothing truly happening here in the top 10 besides starting to drop back a couple spots as Kevin West is able to get by. Pamitat's going to be side by side with him in kind of a preferred lane here down the back straightaway. He's going to get by. Wiles, he will get by, and he has a hole to hop up into in front of Drapeau. Now Drapeau is going to think about sticking inside there, but doesn't. To me, kind of a smart move. It's going to be side by side here between Wiles and Pamitat. They make contact down the front straightaway. No harm, no foul. Just, I think Pamitat went for the side draft there. Wiles wasn't really expecting it, not real sure. As here comes Mustaine in the bottom lane. He's going to crack the top 10. He's going to make contact with Eric Drapeau. That's going to stack things up. As Rittenauer, Klusterhuis, Gale go by. And kind of something to mention here, Cherry, he's moved up a bit here after pitting underneath that last caution. But not truly enough. He's up to 13th. I mean, still a net loss based on where he was running. Like, again, didn't look like he took tires based on his pit stop time there. Side-by-side battle for second here for a brief second. And Sprinkle Speck was there. Nothing really happening from it. He's going to have to set it up and try again. And it's just one wrong move when you're going to give these three teammates of America Racing the opportunity to be 1, 2, 3 and control this race. 24 laps to go. Zach Chrysler looks to be down pit road here. Might be a pit stop. There's also smoke, so who truly knows? Again, he's in his pit box. I'm not real sure. He is on the apron there, coming back on the racetrack. It's Tucker Miller go down to give the draft to West. Trying to leave Winkle Speck here kind of in a soccer hole situation. Not really give him the draft on the back straightaway. You know, so most of the time you see these guys still run the top off the corner. But since, you know, you have those three teammates in that proverbial line there, you're going to go down there and help them. "22 laps to go. As things are actually starting to get a little bit spicy here for third. As Pamitat's going to make it 3 wide. West is going to hop back in line here, though, as he did get a decent side draft there. And he's going to have to set up again to try to get third. The 3 machine of Mustaines down pit road. He's making a pit stop. Could be a scheduled pit stop, not real sure. Caleb Rise is also on pit road there. Both these guys are going to go a lap down. But some of these guys might be thinking it's the right time to pit, trying to get out there on fresher tires, a little bit less dirty air, and see what they could do, but they won't not really have the draft. As Brandon Klusterhuis is also on pit road, making potentially his final stop of the race. When do we see race leaders? Also the 15, the 45, the 18. All these guys are also on pit road. Here comes the 48, Brandon Pamitat down pit road. So does his teammates, the 97, the 48. All scheduled pit stops. It really leaves a question here. When do we see the race leaders? As Trestonat was able to stay on the lead lap there with that pit stop. Same thing with Brandon Klusterhuis. Those two were able to make their pit stop and stay on the lead lap. Unfortunately, Matt Cherry looks like did not. Same thing with Mustaine, Chrysler, and Grande. Looks like Drapeau and those guys are also going to come off a pit road in a pretty decent spot. And still the race leaders haven't pitted. The 35 looks to be down pit road, making his final stop here with 19 laps to go. So some of these guys have ran about 20 to 22 laps. I feel like they can go a lot further than that. It's kind of split in this last stage in half. 50 machine of Brian Russi. He's also on pit road. 19 of Carabinus on pit road. Question is, when do we see the race leaders? Here they come now. That's going to relinquish the lead to the 87 machine of Ray Rittenauer. Same thing with Kevin Hash. They're going to stay out, as they're currently in some lap traffic here. Kind of a ideal situation for these guys trying to stay out there and play some sort of strategy game here, especially when you have a lot of lap traffic coming up. Soriat made his pit stop, but was unable to stay on the lead lap. Now let's kind of watch to see where these things are. Pamitat, Klusterhuis, they're going to get the advantage here. It looks like on Millet and Company. So here comes Pamitat. He's going to have a full head of steam. Millet, they're doing 179 compared to 189 in the corner. So it's Gonna give him a couple of spots. Gonna get Brand Klusterhuis a decent number of spots when things do cycle out. And it looks like Ray Rittenauer is on pit road. That leaves Kevin Hash, Josh Coley still out there, and Matt Quick, and Brian Werman, who haven't pit yet. So when things do cycle out here, whenever we do see the 03, the 33, 89, 74, and 78 all come down pit road, we'll see race leader go back to Zach Millett. And this time he has a little bit of a gap on him. That's almost a second on Dalton Tucker. Tucker still has this pack behind him to deal with. Compared to pit stop times, I mean 10.1 to 9.7 on pit lane. I mean, Dalton Tucker was a second faster on pit lane. Might have just been a getting off a pit road. I'm not truly sure. This just doesn't. 4 times a second faster pit stop, 1 second faster off a pit road. I don't truly understand how that equals to about half a second on the racetrack. But they're gonna close in on Millett. I mean, these two are working together, so I would expect it to get closer together here. But it's still Kevin Hash and then Josh Coley out on the racetrack here. Matt Quick still hasn't pit. Brian Wertman, he's still on the racetrack. And same thing with BJ Hash. And for some reason it's saying Brian. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, my timing's all thrown for a loop here. But coming to 14 to go. We're still wondering when Kevin Hash is going to pit. Same thing, Coley Quick, Wertman, Bobby Hash. When do these guys come down pit road? I don't think they can make it another 13 laps on fuel. I truly don't think. I mean, if they do, that's just a lot of fuel that needs to be saved. I mean, we're talking going 34 laps on a stint of fuel. I mean, for the Premier Series, they only get 60% fuel tanks. So I don't see it. And I mean, they are running about 2 seconds a lap slower than rest of the field. I just don't think they can do it. And these guys are going into 3, and the 03 is going into 2. So even if they were going ultra conservative fuel saving mode, I don't truly think these guys are going to catch them. Yeah, 40-0 compared to a 38-8. I'm not real sure if it's plausible at this point. And Sprinkle Specht and Kevin West are side by side. This is right now for P7 on the racetrack, would be for P4 once things cycle out. The great strategy call here from the 25 machine. Got spun from I'm going to say a side drafting moment earlier. And it's currently running P9. Again, has the potential to gain 3-4 spots once some of these guys come down pit road. We shall see, though. As they are 23 laps on the stint. But I mean, he's also getting help from the 51 and the 67. So could that draft from Green and Rise be enough to do anything? As Rise is actually going to try to go take a lap back here. He's actually going to sit in the line here. He's 10 laps to go.
Nothing's truly changed between what would be essentially come your first 5 cars on the racetrack. But like I said earlier, I mean, Tucker and company did catch Millet. Millet just being a little bit too far out ahead there. Kind of put him in a little bit of a rough situation here. He's going to eventually be caught by these guys. But, I mean, not really much can happen for when they catch him here. It's just not... Unless they go with him. I mean, he got 2 teammates behind him, so it's not like they're gonna essentially go now. They're gonna hold on and wait till probably the last couple laps to attempt to make the pass. Yeah, you got 3 America Racing teammates here. Again, this is in 5th, 6th, and 7th. Brandon Pamertat is going to make contact here with Winkelspect. It looks like he might have got a little bit tight. They're trying to push it off of 4. Did you again make a little bit of contact there? Again, we does look like for sure we have 2 cars out of the race, the 8 machine and the 59 machine. Those 2 guys are out of the race. Sam Green's 5 laps down. You have numerous guys who are also on 1 lap down just due to the current pit strategy we're seeing placed on the racetrack. But with 8 laps to go, a 40.2 to a 38.9, I just mean it's just not enough time with 7 to go for these guys to catch them. So you take extreme, I guess, fuel saving metric matters for Kevin Hash, Josh Coley, and Matt Quick to lose a top 3 position here. So they're about 15 and a half seconds behind. And it says Josh Coley's catching Kevin Hash too, so he ran a 39.9 that last lap compared to a 40.3 by Kevin Hash. As Kevin Hash is actually going to come down pit road, and that could be very, very close to a potential unsafe pit entrance here. It's also, here comes BJ Hash down pit road. But Coley, he did pit underneath that caution, so he does have a couple more laps fuel than Kevin Hash did. As everything's all jumbled up here, by the way. It's just all jumbled up as these guys are coming down pit road. Again, if you see any cars without time there, it's just because they're not within ranges. Here comes Josh Cully down pit road, leaving Matt Quick, the last car not to pit in this cycle with 5 laps to go. Now, this is a guy you do need to watch out for. I do remember Darlington last year, first race of the playoffs. He was able to save enough fuel to make it to the end of that race. We had a very long green flag run there where guys did come down pit road and whatnot. He was one of those guys who was able to stay out there and save enough fuel. Question is, how much fuel does he need to save? I was not truly given an exact number on these laps. He's gonna run. It actually looks like he's gonna come down pit road this time. So there that goes out the window. He just comes down and leads his lap and just give the race lead back over to Zach Millen Company. I thought it might add something to just come out of nowhere there. Well, 4 laps to go. It's a 31 machine of Zach Millen. He won stage number 2 tonight. And he's currently sitting as the race leader now. 2 stage winners are first and second. 4 laps to go. I mean, there's not enough of a pack here truly for them to, I guess, take an advantage, trying to draft up with. Who really knows here? Pamertat's 7/10 of a second behind him. Winkelspect, he's currently looking like he might be passed here by BJ Hash. Hash, though, is a lap down from that pit stop. But Millet was able to pull it to about 0.2 of a second here with 3 laps to go. Trying to think the last repeat winner in the Premier Series here. Millet has potential to join that list. Ooh, this is a good question. Who was the last back-to-back winner of the Premier Series? We're in that range here, coming to 2 laps to go. And I don't know if there's enough Wes can truly do. It's going to take a hell of a push from Tucker to get there. especially when you fall to about 0.2 of a second behind him. It's just that dirty air is truly too much here. He's going to pull him to about 0.1 of a second, but he's truly driving into the corner there. But he's going to pay for it on corner exit. As we're going to get ready to come off go into 3. And come off of turn 4 for the penultimate time tonight. As they come to the start finish line for 1 lap to go, sponsored by nobody. 1.3 is a gap. No one's been truly able to overcome that amount here entering the corner tonight. So as long as Millet's able to block any sort of run that West is able to get, it's 2.5 tenths. I don't think he's going to have much for him. He's actually going to give Tucker an opportunity to race for him for second. He's actually going to overtake second for sure. But I think it's too little too late for even Tucker here. As off of turn number 4, Zach Millet is going to win back-to-back races in Season 10. Followed by Dalton Tucker, Kevin West, Brandon Pamitat. He's fallen to about 2.5 seconds behind these guys. He'll finish 4th. Winkelspeck 5th. Wiles will finish 6th. Brandon Klusterhus again rebound up for that Spanish will finish 7th. Rittenauer will finish 8th. Drapeau will finish 9th. And Ryan Muniz will round out your top 10. I want on our race winner tonight. Yes, we'll get to watch them burn it down for the second time this year. Again, I feel like this is our first repeat winner, back-to-back race winners in a while. I'm going to quickly just go and pull up some statistics on it here. So I don't think we had any repeat winner. Oh no, we had repeat winner at the end of last year. Sean Patterson won both races, so I was wrong on that in the Premier Series. So there is that. Let's make sure Discord should still be unmuted here. Okay, it's America Racing 1, 2, 3 finish. And so we'll let Millet park this thing in victory lane and pull him up into the booth. Just give him another second here. He parked it. We'll pull him up in the booth. We'll get to talk to race winner Zach Millet once again. Hello?
Hey.
Back to back, man.
Back to back. I like it.
They truly had nothing for you tonight. I mean, once you got that race lead in stage 2, you just put on an ass whooping.
Teammates, man. Teammates. Couldn't have done it without them. I mean, it was awesome to have the guys up there. We were just working really, really well together. We usually always do. I mean, once we got 2 or 3 of us in a line, and then even 4 of us in a line, it was just beautiful. You know, we all kind of know how each other drive, and man, it's easy. It's easy when you got help.
It looked easy tonight. I wish I had statistics to see how many laps you actually led. I don't know. My timing screen doesn't allow me to see that, but you led probably the most laps tonight. You earned yourself a stage win, earned yourself 5 more playoff points. Probably still got yourself that first place in the point standings. That just gotta feel good, right?
Yeah. You know, and I think we touched on it last week there at Daytona that, you know, once you get that first win out of the way, you're locked into the playoffs. You can kind of just, you know, throw caution to the wind and throw 2 tires on it and just full send it. If it doesn't work out, who cares? You're already in, right?
Right. You're playing with house money at this point. I mean,
right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's nothing truly to mention. You know, nothing truly happened to you in the race. You know, you went out there and ran a pretty clean race throughout. I mean, My one thing says you have an instant point, but I'm going to guess that's from your burnout. I don't think you hit the grass at any point tonight to get that 1x, so it should be a max points night for you tonight. Besides maybe the fastest lap. I had a guess.
Yeah, it looks like I didn't get that one.
You know, that'd be the only point you did not get tonight. But you should be setting yourself up well going into Texas next week.
Heck yeah, man! I love Texas too. That's it's new Texas too. I think I like them both, but new Texas is pretty sweet.
On iRacing, I don't mind it in real life. It can just burn to the ground.
It wouldn't take much since it's like 200 degrees there every day.
That is true. Well, before we go ahead and let you go and continue to sell, well, actually, I think I have to pull up two of your teammates in here. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to, a quick thank you for?
Oh yeah, big shout out to all America Racing. Awesome team. It's a pleasure to be a part of it. We're all good friends. We run well together. We joke around the whole race. I mean, there's going to be a lot of good content for you in the in the mic'd up section. So be ready for that chaos. But shout out to the Iron Thunder Racing League as always. All the admins behind the scene that make this possible. It's a lot of work. Big shout out to you, Alex, for the broadcast. As always, look forward to going back and watching this.
Yeah, just skip the first couple minutes. I forgot to take the logo off the screen.
Oh, no problem. Big shout out to Team Conti Sim Performance as always. Extreme Graphics, Track Bar Media, Track Bar Motorsports, EMR Paintball, and that S4 guy on Twitch. I did not stream tonight. I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it tonight, and this is what happens.
You know, I don't want to advocate for not streaming, but it seems like you win races when you don't. So,
and 2 in a row, man. I'm not streaming next week. I don't care what happens.
Try to get that 3P. I think that might be. I have to go fact check this, but that could potentially be you could be potentially going for the first 3P in the league. I'm not really sure. So Dylan could message me and be like, "No, this happened before," but I don't recall it happening. So
it definitely won't be easy in a league like this. There's just a ton of fast guys in here. I mean, if you look at the I ratings, it's insane. It's really cool to have a league like this where everybody drives clean and fast.
I agree, man. Well, congratulations on getting your second win of the season, man, and we'll see you out there next week.
Thanks, man. Have a good one.
That was race winner Zach Millett. Hopefully we get an actual interview with Tucker tonight, not try to speed run this one through. We'll pull him up in the booth and we'll find out. Second place finisher tonight, Dalton Tucker's in the booth now.
I got you, man.
Do we need a speed run this one, or do you have some time?
No Taco Bell this week.
You made a better choice this week, I guess. Well, you finished P2 tonight. Solid top 5 car most of the night here. Running with your teammates. To me, it looked like you're based on your pit stop. You should have been the first car out on the racetrack. I don't know if something happened on pit entry or pit exit. If you could fill me in there.
I don't know if I spun coming out of the pit box, and I don't know if that's where I lost a little bit of time on Zach, but I lost just enough to where he was maybe half a second ahead, and kind of needed help to get back to him.
I mean, you did have help there. I mean, Pamatad and Winkelspeck were both up there. It just happened to, I don't know if tires falling off at some, but they just dropped off and just left you 3 up front. Do you think you potentially could have had him there if you had, I don't know, another 3 laps? Or is it one of those things where you just didn't have enough draft or dirty air would have been too much to overcome?
I think me, Kevin, or Zach could have won it, but it's almost like at what cost? When we got, I guess, about a second and a half ahead, there wasn't much we could do to screw each other, but I think any of us could have had it. It's just at what cost do you want to throw it in there and see what will happen? Because being teammates, I was content just running. It's a long-ish season, so just content with running top 3, and wherever we finish, we finish.
I mean, it's a great day for the team standings too. I mean, 1, 2, 3 America Racing, don't want to throw that out the window either. No,
I mean, honestly, the whole race we were up top 5 majority of everybody, and it was you can kind of not necessarily set the field that way, but you
Mhm.
can control it for the most part, and that's mainly what we were doing, just trying to. You can run safe that way, and
Right.
it definitely worked out.
It did work out as you were able to come home P2 tonight. We're able to gain some decent stage points here as well tonight. Looked like you got 13 stage points. Helps from kind of recuperate a little bit from what you didn't earn in any of the dual races and whatnot, or the stage races last week. So it kind of gives you a little bit of help in the point standings here. But I mean, you guys looked fast. I expect you guys to be fast next week at Texas.
Yeah, honestly, at Daytona, I wasn't thinking about stages at all, and then I saw the graphic posted, and I was like, "Dang, I finished third, and I'm in ninth. What the heck?" And so going into this week, I was like,
10 points from your dual race too. That was also could have been on the grab. So it's
yeah.
I sorry to interrupt you there, but go ahead and finish your side.
No, you're good. It's just going into this week, I had to kind of remind myself that there is stage points, and I've got another league that I run in that is like a Gen 4 2004 league, and no stages, no nothing. So I haven't been really thinking about it.
Well, get to thinking about it here, man. We still have 14 more races to go. Where stage points mean everything.
Oh yeah.
Well, congratulations on your P2 finish tonight. I don't really have any more questions for you, so I'll go ahead and give you the floor to shadow anyone you want. Give a quick thank you. Floor is yours.
I mean, obviously, I gotta give a shout out to America Racing for pretty much controlling the race and being able to run with each other. And in a draft race like this, it's very hard to stay together because anybody can make a move. But it was fun to run with everybody, and a very clean race from what I could see. So shout out to everybody in the league for being able to run clean. I want to give a shout out also to Michael Moultrie's family. Just keep all them like in thoughts and prayers. He's another teammate for America Racing, and they're going through some stuff right now. So just give him a shout out. Hope everything's turning better soon. So and just appreciate what y'all do for the league, whether it's broadcast or what Dylan does for it. It's pretty great. So no complaints here, and can't wait to go back and watch this.
It should be an exciting one. Like I told your teammate there, just to skip the first couple of minutes of it. Nothing really see there in the first couple of minutes, and we'll go ahead and keep your teammate in our thoughts and prayers tonight and the rest of the week for you. And congratulations on your P2 finish here tonight.
All right, thanks, man.
As that was second place finish Dalton Tucker. And that just leaves third place Kevin West. We'll pull him up into the booth here, and we'll have a word with him. We'll let him get some words in, man. Hello?
That was a good one, wasn't it? Must have been fun to watch up there, huh?
Yeah, it was, especially on those restarts. Up until that, pit stop, it was pretty exciting to watch. You guys duking it out there in semi-packed style racing. Weren't able to get the race win tonight, but you did come on P3.
Well, I just pulled over and let those guys fight it out for first. I thought, I'd keep, third spot warm on the podium. And, yeah. For the next gen, it wasn't too bad of a run for old Trailer Park, dude. I mean, I'm the Gen 4 GOAT. I can drive circles around everybody in the Gen 4, but next gen, we're getting there. We're getting there. P3's not too bad.
Not too bad. You earned the most stage points tonight with 19. That kind of helps you there after your misfortune late in the race last week. So pretty solid point stay, I have to say.
Yeah, it feels good to get up there, get a stage win, get some stage points. Try to recoup a little bit of the loss from Daytona after getting wrecked out of the lead there at the green white checkered. Actually, I mean, I had a little bit of fun tonight in the next gen. I wasn't really expecting to have this much fun in this car since, I mean, it's an absolute embarrassment to NASCAR right now.
You're not wrong.
But it put on a decent show. I mean, it completely relies on the draft. I mean,
Oh,
you
yeah.
can't drive away from anybody, but that's just the way it is, and you just got to adapt to it, I guess. But good run for us. Good run for America Racing. I mean, 1, 2, 3, unbelievable.
Yeah, unbelievable. You guys had the field pretty much covered for most of the night tonight. You know, a couple of guys got in there every once in a while, but you were able to control most of that top 5 for all 88 laps.
Yeah, I think these guys are going to have a problem outrunning us this season. I mean, I've already told them if they couldn't beat Zach Millett on a super speedway, they were going to have a really long season, and it's shaping up to be that way.
Well, I think the true season starts next week at Texas. You know, a little bit less of a draft reliant track. You know, we'll see next week.
Yeah, I think the 1.5 milers will be pretty good in this car. They usually are decent. So yeah, we'll go to next week and see what we can do.
Well, I you answered most of my questions. The only question I have left is, before we let you go, is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to? A quick thank you for?
Shout out to all my mobile homies out there on TikTok. They showed up tonight. I mean, we had like 16,000 viewers or something like that. So shout out to those guys. Shout out to my teammates in America Racing, best drivers in the world. We'll be in the Coke Series probably next year or so. So we're headed to the top.
I hope to see you up there, man. You know, be fun to watch you guys. Whatever Tuesdays they decide to run next year. You know, who knows?
I mean, we'll just go there and dominate like we dominated here. No problem.
That'd be fun to watch. Well, congratulations on your P3 finish tonight, and we'll see you at Texas next week.
All right, we'll see you there.
As that was P3 finisher Kevin West, all that kind of leaves us here with tonight is going over your finishing results. We'll go ahead and go over it as I see. I'm just reading Discord because there looks like there might be some beef in there. Who really knows? Again, it was Millett, Tucker, West, your top 3 here. Pamatet and Winkelspecht round out your top 5. Wiles, Brand Klusterhus, Rittenauer, Japot, and Muniz will round out your top 10. 11th through 20th, we'll see Trestonat, Matt Klusterhus, Sawyerot, Brian Rusi, Matt Cherry, Kevin Hash, Jeff Pete, Josh Cully, Roy Grande, and John Mustaine Jr. 21st through 30th. That's the wrong button. This will show you a couple guys here who did finish a couple laps down here tonight. Ortman, Kreiser, Shiflett, Rees, Carabina, Gale, and Matt Quick will be your last cars on a lap in 26th place. BJ Hash, I don't know where 27th is, but apparently we don't have a 27th place finisher tonight. Cool, thanks ATVO. Sam Green and Storm Patterson will finish 30th, 38 laps down after falling out of the race numerous times tonight. 31st will be Jason Roundbush, and 32nd will be Dylan Hale. Again, I feel like there's another finisher in there. I guess we just don't care about 27th place. I'm not real sure. But kind of a glance at what your points will be. Again, stage points will be updated. This is just points without stage points, so this is truly unofficial. Like I said, Millett earned the most stage points tonight, so he will have 19 more points. Sorry, Kevin West earned more points tonight, so he'll have 19 more, so he'll be above 69 points. But Millett, right now, as things set before stage points get added, would have a 12-point lead. Potentially could be even more over that because he earned 18 stage points compared to race 6, so he could be higher up there. Winkelspecht is sitting there. He's able to gain outright third position. Not really seeing much of a tie until back to 9th place. And around the cut line there, again, things are really close. It's always going to be something we're going to focus on this year. It's around this cut line, with right now being Chris Gale by 1 point. Ties would go to the highest finisher and whatnot there. Rest of your points here, again, we're missing a couple guys here. One's Freeze, one is Carbonell. And a couple guys that apparently I don't have on the graphic, but it is that. As race number 2 is in the books, we'll be back next week, live from the virtual Texas Motor Speedway. It's Texas. Should be a gosh darn Bucky's at this point. We have 135 laps on the docket next week. A sunset race, so it should be a pretty looking sky, if I had to say. But that's going to do it for me. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you haven't at this point, please make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe. Go watch the super cut of Radioactive from a year ago. It's a great time. I'm about halfway through. I was watching and reliving some of the things I said a year ago and being like, yeah, I said that. So go give that a watch. And again, Radioactive will be returning at some point this year. Don't know when. Haven't been given an official release date. All I know is the drivers have been voicing their thoughts throughout the race. So if you enjoyed Radioactive, it will be back at some point this year. So when, to be determined. Well, that'll be it for us in the Iron Thunder Racing Network. We'll see you guys